Hello everyone and welcome to the midpoint of the Firestone Firehog season. So this is the fourth round, going to be that exact halfway point for the regular season. And it's going to be on the Rallycross of Sweden, second RX that we have in the schedule. One that we raced in the grand finals for two motos for the Firestone Firehog Fall Series Season 3 in it last year. So track might look a little familiar. The Joker lane right there, that purple, colored purple, lit up purple Joker lane right there. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting one. Has quite a bit of, has a pretty good balance, I would say, of the terrain and the non-terrain sections as far as the rallycrosses go. And this one has like quite the skill gap. Certain spots you can pass. You have to be kind of ballsy to pass on this one. It's an interesting track. So let's take a look at the lineup. So first of all, the heat results is actually Detail and Soul won the heats for this one. And let's take a look at the lineup and everybody that we got joining us here for this race. So on this side, this is going to be like the preferred line starting in first. It's going to be Detail, then Soul, then Luke and Camby. And then our row 2. We got this little row action for the start on this one, by the way. That classic RX start for this one. We got Roman, Armada, Hunter, and Vulcan. Then in the back row, we've got, well, the third row, we've got Opix and Koop. We're making that a thing. No, we're not. Starting in the back. So it's going to be 13 laps. 13 laps, and as per usual, got to take 2 jokers. Any point in the moto, whenever. First lap, last lap, middle laps, lap 3, lap 7, whenever. All laps allowed for this one. And that joker's like right away, so it could get pretty interesting on this track. But yeah, so 13 laps, 27 on the checkpoints. Got all the lineup, everything set, ready to go. Now we're just waiting on the nade. Nade's out. And we're green. Soul gets a pretty good start, I would say. Oh, some rock cheese already. And a few drivers. I probably should have just went for your joker there. 4 drivers go for their joker immediately. Might get tight on the exit of the chicane here. Oh, man. Wow, the rejoin too. That was a wild ride for Vulcan right there. That was an incredible rejoin after that crash. And yeah, this track has a lot of cheese potential, and we're already seeing that. Battle for the lead. Detail maybe sending it to the inside. Oh, a little contact. Can he clear him? A little loose off the exit, trying to set it up. Oh, Soul beating and banging into that hairpin, not giving up the lead yet. And we have quite the cracked start already. RX Sweden here. So Soul looks like he'll probably lead down lap 1 here. This first, or well, technically this last turn here, very important part of the track, can gain and lose a ton of time there. Soul will lead the first lap down. See if anybody else takes their jokers. And yeah, looks like Camby's going to take one right there. Anyone on the back? Like Opix might have taken one as well. Going to this. Oh no! A little contact on the rock in this uphill, up elevation. I don't know, terrain section there. And yeah, that's a rough one for Soul, but on the bright side, Detail not anticipating that, so not going to be getting around him. He was following the same line right there. Too late to redirect. And this actually gives Hunter a bit of a run, and Hunter is not too far behind in 4th now. Good potential with the rough starts going down and Hunter this far up early on. Good potential for him to get a punch in a good result here. Early on in the race, needs to try to keep up with this top 3. But yeah, it's Soul, Detail, Luke, Hunter. That's our top 4 right now. I'm not sure on the 5th place spot. That's hard to tell. But we might have a battle. Big run. Detail around the left. Not able to complete the pass. Luke going to go for the joker. Hunter going to go for the joker. He'll try and any move he can, getting those little entries into the chicane there. But not able to do it quite yet. I think anybody else went for their Joker, and Luke and Hunter came out well in front of the rest of the pack. Be a move on Vulcan there for Roman and Camby. So Roman's the top 5. Roman's in that 5th place spot. Love the rally crosses that we have for the Hogs here. Oh! That might be the move. Let's see if Soul can hold him off this time. Well, Soul just needs to send it in deep again. Detail holding strong, but Soul's going to have the line. Wow. Spicy battle for these guys. Multiple laps here. Detail trying everything he can, but Soul holding strong and trying not to give up that position. Definitely overruns the chicane a bit there. Detail's going to gain. Is he going to be able to make the move here? It's going to be tough. You can tell he's setting up for that first turn there. But a pretty even run. Any Joker strategy? Interesting. Soul is actually going to go in. Soul is actually going to go in. Where is he going to come out? Is it going to be anywhere weird? Looks like he comes out pretty comfortably in front of Hunter. That's Vulcan going in for his there. Yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, this and Claystone both, you know, rally crosses on the schedule, but pretty different tracks here. Claystone also a lot longer, that being the first rally cross that we ran in the season. Both tracks having a pretty good mix of their terrain and pavement sections. A lot of different jumps and things to mix the racing up. Oval turn for both. So some similarities, but definitely pretty different tracks for our first 2 rally crosses in the season. We got a new one coming up in a couple weeks too. That one I'm looking forward to. Rallycross of Catalunya. Gotta say it like that. That one will be cool. Seeing racing a new rallycross as well. Be cool for the Hogs here. We need to get the Forge Grinders on. Slaunch and Roman. Pump out 5 Hog tracks in the next month, damn it. We're going Hog. HRL 2023. That's the motto. We're going Hog Wild. Anyways. It looks like it's, yeah, still Roman in that top 5 spot. Soul Hunter. So can be outside of it. Then Armada. Vulcan. Opix there as well. Koop. Koop falling pretty far behind. I think having a rough start in this one. And also trying to get accustomed to the Hogs. He did show up for his first night on the Woo Sunday that we unfortunately did not get the videos for, Lamau. But yeah, he was there for that, so it was his first night back. But now this is his first Friday back, his first time running the Hogs. So going to be quite the adjustment. Judging by the reactions from him, I think he had a pretty good time with them, as most people tend to do. Hogs being a pretty nice, pretty fun change of pace as far as things go. Breathes a lot of life into it. We've been racing gooses for over a decade, so I don't really mind the Hogs getting their stay here. We're getting close to the halfway point of this moto, but not quite there. About 5 laps in right now. I can tell this is a pretty tech track, pretty tricky. A lot of chicanes. Wow, Hunter went rogue right there. A lot of chicanes. And the chicanes are pretty tricky. Like where they're placed makes the chicanes kind of weird, because one of them, you're coming off an oval turn with like a fat run, and obviously getting all that speed, getting all that momentum is not going to help make an easy entry, so that one's pretty difficult. The other one, you're literally coming off of a terrain jump, so that one doesn't really help either. Yeah, 2 pretty tricky chicanes. Oval turns, you can make up time on the exits. I'm sure this last turn, I always want to call it the first turn, but the finish line's right there. Last turn's pretty tricky. Gotta know what gear to be in there. How to keep up your speed.
Lap complete.
Is this one's like kind of a chicane too? I don't know. I like the Joker too. We're gonna have a Joker usage here. This is the second one out of Luke here, so he's done. Wow, Soul went in as well. Hunter is done. Soul might have one more, I think, but I could be wrong. I think Soul has one more. But Hunter and Luke done with the Jokers now. Detail in the lead at the moment. Both Jokers need to be taken still for him. And then throughout this mid-pack, there's a lot of Jokers already been taken throughout this mid-pack. Oh, hold on to it. That was potentially a rough moment for Soul right there, but holds on to it. You got to be careful. That last terrain section right there, super tricky. Might be a run to the inside for Camby there, not quite. The last terrain section, super tricky. One, it just tightens up. I mean, especially the exit right there is like just barely too wide. So it messes with the width of the track a little bit, which is always tricky. And then it's just like uphill and then downhill, and the turns are weird, and the bumps are in all different kinds of places. It's a very tricky section. Track definitely showing off what you can do with the terrain and these hogs to mix things up and mix up the lines, make things interesting with the bumps that are in them. Even though they're supposed to be flat pieces, they are not. They are definitely not. Hunter's still holding on over Camby here. And I want to say, we probably missed it, but I want to say Detail probably went in for his first Joker, so this will be potential battle for the lead right now, but also at the same time, again, like, Detail still has to take another Joker, so that'll make things interesting there. Third place, that's a pretty wide run, but third place still held on by Soul. Roman's in fourth now, but I think Roman still has at least one Joker to go, I want to say. Oh, what happened here? Armada. Rough cheese in the terrain. Not going to help him out. See if the Joker goes down this lap. It does not. That top two probably going to stay the same. Roman might go for one here. And I want to say, yeah, okay. I know he has at least one. He might have two to take still, but I know he had at least one. Roman going for it. Oh, this is going to be a spicy one. Comes out right behind Camby. Soul in the mix. What? Hold on. We might have to replay a little bit. What happened with Soul right there? Here we go. There Roman goes in. Oh, that's unfortunate. Take a look at that.
Lap complete.
Soul going over the jump here. And maybe just a little far off to the right. Yeah. And just a weird, like, awkward landing a little too far over to the right. Kind of overcleared a little bit. It's that uphill terrain the wrong way and gets a complete flip, and then look at how tough the rejoin is. So that's what brings Soul back into this, and that's unfortunate because Soul is looking to be on for a good run here and probably like a podium pretty well guaranteed, I would say. He was definitely looking on for it, but now, I mean, he could still take it, but like he's going to have to fight for it now, and look at how this race is spiced up. Look at this pack that we got going here. Mid-pack keeping things interesting. Did they work their way through the terrain? Nobody going to go for the dives yet. Loving the mid-pack action that we got going here in this first moto. Take a look at the lead again. I think, let's see if the Joker goes down this lap. It does. So see, Luke should take the lead on this one, but the gap's going to be important. There it is, Luke to the lead on this one, and maybe like a 5 hog length gap or so, something like that. Camby making a run on Soul, but not able to carry it into the chicane quite yet. Roman now deep in that mid-pack, was looking strong for a top 5. Now it's looking like it might be out of reach. But he's got all those drivers right in front of him. Just needs to take advantage of the right moment. Hunter going really loose, and Soul gets loose off of it. And this might be the moment for Roman, diving to the inside. Going for it in the terrain. Oh, what just happened? What? What? What just happened? Do we have a new gopher? What just happened? All right, so here things start to go crazy. Oh, no. It wasn't a gopher. Hunter just barely clipped the rock. And he's going to go down and flip over, and Camby... Oh, he backs up into Camby! And it cheeses Camby a lot, and Soul dives into the hairpin afterwards. What has happened to this mid-pack battle? That one cheese just made everything go to shit. And now it's a 5-way tense battle for the mid-pack. And Detail must have had a really good last lap. We have a lead battle on as well. First Moto looking spicy here. The Rallycross of Sweden. Watch them go through the terrain section. We see the battle for the mid-pack on the left. The battle for the lead that we're following here. A little loose. Detail looking to the inside. Things might get spicy in the terrain. Oh, a little rock contact. Too wide. Detail sending it deep. Little contact. Little cheese in the end. Takes the lead. But the race not over yet. Still going to be 2 to go this time by. Luke can put down a couple of heaters. Could still be a battle for the lead on in this one. As the mid-pack battle rages on. Roman, what the hell? Why does this cheese keep happening? Let's see what happens this time around. Hunter and Soul make a couple mistakes, starts to bunch things up, and Soul just going so rogue onto that bump, and it's one of those parts where if you're going full speed, you got to be careful there. And unfortunately, he had that pressure from behind. He couldn't really afford to be careful, and he popped that too. Oh! That is unfortunate. The after part of that is super unfortunate. Take a look at that again. They come out, Soul cheeses there, recovers, and then here we go. Oh. And that's going to get Vulcan by him as well. That's tough. Roman, the big benefactor that gains multiple positions. Roman up to 4th, and man, that sucks. Obviously, those situations were sad for Soul, but really it all comes back to that one weird instance that he had over there around the Joker exit. If that didn't happen, Soul was probably set for a very clear, very strong top 3, and then, you know, that happened, put him back in the pack, things got weird, and now he's just trying to salvage the best finish that he can. But yeah, unfortunate. It would have been very strong for him after having a really good Monza to come out and, you know, start the first Moto off like that, but yeah, this one's just going the wrong way for him. But it spices up again as Vulcan's starting to make moves on Camby. Camby with that run on the right side. Wow, Soul coming in hot. Camby going loose on the left. They might catch up to him. Soul sending it in deep. Oh, a little too hard. That would have been sick if he pulled it off, but definitely can't say that he didn't go for it, but didn't work out for him there. Mid-pack really putting on a show in this one, but I think we just hit the white flag, and look at that. It's heated up. Luke's put on a couple good laps, so we may have another battle for the win here. Not over yet. Question is, you know, no Joker strategy in play. Where do you go for the move? Possibly has to happen in one of the terrain sections, but I'll have to wait and see. Maybe can make something happen going into the hairpin, but hard to tell on this track. Both of them going for it. Luke maybe trying to make a send to the inside, and a little too far inside, and gets off the side, and that's probably going to settle that one. Unfortunate, because I would have liked to see how this would have played out if they went into this terrain close to each other again, but that's probably going to settle this one. Trying to keep an eye. Oh yeah, get this nice shot right here for the mid-pack. The mid-pack separated a little bit. Battle. Soul going after it. Something must have happened to Camby, because Camby fell behind. And oh, look at Soul went for it. Oh, I like the move that he tried to do right there. It didn't work out, but I like what he attempted there. He went for a pretty slick crossover going into the terrain. That would have been sick if it worked out, but unfortunately, just a little off on that one. Detail going to be taking the win, his 3rd on the season for the Motos. In this one, Luke taking 2nd. And we still got a ways to go for these boys, so let's catch up with them. Oh my god, no way. No way. Oh, we might have to watch a replay of that. Soul's going to make it happen. He last lap passes Vulcan in the oval turn. We'll have to take a look at a replay on that one for sure. And, you know, matter of fact, let's just do it right now because I don't... okay, good. I don't want it to get cheesed. So let's see what happened here. So yeah, you can tell, I like the move, I like the idea, but he's just a little too far to the inside. But I like the idea of what he tried there. Just didn't quite work out. And then here, oh, it's just a full send, isn't it? Hold on. And this is kind of what I was saying with the Luke and Detail battle, where it'd probably have to happen. Soul just absolute, that's just commitment. That is just commitment, is what you call that. Full send. Vulcan not prepared for it, and Vulcan didn't quite have the inside protected. The line was definitely, the gap was definitely there. The commitment, oh, to the inside. And then he's trying to get as much momentum as he can because he knows Vulcan's going to have that momentum, but they try to keep it clean. He leaves the space. They keep it relatively clean, but he gets in front. That's going to be it. What a battle right there. Yeah, Hunter taking podium. His first podium in the Hogs, I want to say. I'd have to double check that, but I imagine it probably is. Roman 4th. Soul clutching up that top 5. Vulcan 6th. Camby 7th. Not sure what happened to Camby at the end there. Opix with a Durft. Cross the line. Gonna close out a pretty crazy first moto. Armada. Gonna be taking 9th in this one. Not what he was looking for. That'll definitely spice up that third place points battle for sure. Armada having a pretty rough Moto 1. That points battle will be interesting to look at unless Armada has a crazy recovery here in Moto 2. And Koop coming across, 10th. But yeah, pretty wild Moto 1. Definitely a good one on the season. There was a lot of battle action, some pretty crazy wrecks. That was quite the action-packed one. So yeah, RX of Sweden definitely putting on... I mean, we didn't have as many people in the Grand Finals race, but so that one was, kind of unfortunate. But I think putting on a better show here than it did in the Grand Finals. Glad we got to race this one in the regular season. With the more filled-out pack. Unfortunate with a lot of the drivers that were missing tonight, but hopefully they'll be back for next week for Road America. But yeah, this is a pretty sick moto. But in the end, podium, Detail, Luke, and Hunter. Again, Hunter, big finish for him. I think got to be his first podium on the season, but I think maybe his first podium on the Hogs as well. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, pretty big finish for him. But yeah, GG's, good Moto 1. And we'll see you guys for another 13 laps on this tricky rallycross in a moment in Moto 2.